Hi, everybody. Summary of week 2. Haven't really even started week 3 yet, so I apologize for that. It's just kind of a busy weekend. Um, Anyhow, so with regards to week 2, so discussion questions 4 through 6 were in support of chapters 3 through 5, and I think I called these show and tell. So not necessarily high level thought processes going on here. They were more just an opportunity for you to apply the the theory to leadership positions that you've worked with in the past, just to kind of get just give you a little experience in understanding those. So that's how I do it when I read this material. I just think, well, that kind of sounds like when I worked for Joe, and so I'll just kind of analyze different leaders or managers that I've worked with before, and kind of try to learn more about the theory itself, and then how I think about how it worked for me. So anyhow, everyone did very well in that for the most part. I mean, a few people missed points, largely just because they didn't participate in the discussion, which I provided feedback. On top of that, I just want you all to know, if you're not seeing it, that I do write quite a bit of feedback to each of you in the discussion questions and drop boxes. So I'm trying to give a lot of individualized feedback in this course. I've heard on several surveys that you either do or don't get it from other faculty. So I'm trying to make sure that that's provided in this particular course. Leadership is not about learning, like a set skills. Not all of you are in the same place. Not all of you choose to develop yourself in the same way. So I'm kind of dealing with it more kind of on a one-to-one, so that you have the freedom to kind of develop yourself into whom you believe is a leader. So anyhow, I do want to highlight that a lot of people did comment. I don't know about a lot. Yeah, I would say like well over half commented rather strongly to the situational leadership model, which was chapter 5. And a lot of people really stated that they liked that style, and that it made a lot of sense to them, that it seemed a little bit easier to apply. So I just thought I'd comment that I agree, that it in fact seems rather intuitive to me in the way that I've led in the past. I typically have adjusted how I work with different people based on their experience level, their competence, their comfort level, so I agree with you. I think that I think there's something to it. So so with regard to Dropbox 3, this was the skills inventory where you actually did the assessments at the end of the chapters for all 3 of those models. I have to say, I was just really kind of blown away by the amount of work that was put into it. I mean, most of you were writing several pages worth of feedback, and it at least seemed to me that you were putting some real thought and energy into it, and I was just very, very impressed by that. So as we progress in the course, you will do more of these assessments. I don't have you do them with every chapter, so I can't remember why I didn't do that, but I didn't do it with all of them, but with a few of them I did have you do it, and you will get to do that later on too. And of course, you're welcome to do them anytime, and you can build that into your reflection papers if you want, or you can just kind of do it for fun for yourself. So anyhow, so I did have to giggle to myself, because I thought a lot of you have S preferences, or a preference for specific or sensing So it made sense to me that a lot of you would enjoy these assessments because they really are kind of a hands-on activity and give you some and probably for the T's or thinking preferences also because it gives you something more concrete and more logical to deal with. So that kind of made sense to me. So with regards to the reflection papers, just a second. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 10 of you have thinking preferences over feeling, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10 have sensing preferences. So sensing again is if you can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear it, it exists. So it's using your senses to establish what is, where intuitives don't rely on senses immediately. And then thinking is logical implications or using logic to base decisions, more of an objective approach versus feeling, which is more subjective. So anyhow, just to follow up on that. So with regards to the reflections this week, the theory processing template, everyone I think is kind of on board and is completing it the way that it was intended. So, awesome work. I also just wanted to comment that I know the reflection, or I'm guessing the reflection for week 2 seemed a bit heavy. It's like you're doing all this reflection around the assessments and then reflection on the class, and it's like, how much can I really reflect? I mean, it's just kind of killing it here. And I just wanted to acknowledge that I get that. And it is a little heavier this week, but it won't be heavy other weeks. So I just wanted you to know that I do acknowledge that. So also, I just wanted to kind of frame the course again. I think I mentioned this in the introduction, but just want to hit on it again. So the goal of this course is not for you to, or for you being exposed to all of these different leadership theories, is not necessarily for you to window shop and say, I like that one, or I like that one, or I'm going to choose this one instead of that one. I mean, in my mind, that's just not like how it works. I think I look at it more that each of you are developing your own model, kind of your own stew. I don't know how else to put it. And you're just kind of picking and choosing from each of these models what seems to resonate with you, that fits you. And fits the setting that you see yourself working in, fits the type of professionals that you will work with, fits with what you believe is the right thing to do with your ethics, and you'll kind of create your own model. So I don't see that you will, go, my goodness, I am such a situational leadership leader. I think that you'll use that in combination with other stuff and you'll come up with your own model. So I personally believe, from my own perspective, that there are theories out there and truths that fit me. They fit with my ethics, with my belief system, with my values, with the purpose and passion that I have in the world. And so I create my own vision. I don't expect you to adopt my vision or my leadership model, but I'm kind of throwing all of this at you so that you can gain clarity on what your leadership model is and how you will base leadership. So that if somebody sits down and says to you, so what is your leadership about? Or if you're interviewing somebody and you say, so what questions do you have for me? And they say, well, can you describe your leadership philosophy to me? That you won't just look at them like, I have really no idea. But you'll think about this. And the next time you're making some decisions or interacting with people or applying for different roles or considering different opportunities that you'll consider your own model. So anyhow, so each week you'll get exposed to more and more, and you start to it all kind of clumps together, and before you know it, you have this beautiful stew at the end that hopefully will give you clarity into what leadership what effective leadership looks like, and within the context of healthcare. As many of you know, healthcare is a very complex field, with lots of challenges to it that many times you don't find out in other areas of other industries. So it really does require a very evolved, very highly developed, well-developed, mature leader. So, and I think there's lots of room in healthcare for those. So anyhow, hope you had a good week, and I will be working like a dog to try to get caught up. If you have any questions or concerns, I invite you to email or call anytime. I'm around all the time. I'm working on many other things outside of just teaching a course, so that is kind of what complicates life and kind of drags my response time down. But I do try to really watch for emails from you and to make sure that I remove barriers so that you can get your coursework done as soon as you can. So anyhow, I hope this is a good week, and I'll look forward to talking to you in another week. Take care. Bye.